Hello everybody, it's Tommy and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a create a sim for the Disney save, and today we're going to be making Charlotte LaBeouf and Big Daddy LaBeouf from The Princess and the Frog. So we do get a little bit of backstory for these characters. We get a lot more of Charlotte than we do for Big Daddy, but I feel like it's still pretty obvious, like a good direction to take with either of these characters. Obviously, it's always a little bit difficult when I feel like I have to give these characters more depth and backstory to pick out what I want to do with them. But that's why Patreon's really cool for me too, because I get some differing opinions of my own, and it's always cool to get different perspectives. But we did kind of decide on how Lottie would be as a character. I ran a couple polls, figured out some stuff that she might be interested in, and I'm really excited to share her character with you. If you happen to have missed my previous video, I did do LaBeouf Mansion. It is totally pink and glamorous and high-end, and I definitely recommend it before watching today's video, as well as the rest of the Disney save if this happens to be your very first one. There are so many videos, so much to catch you up on, but hopefully it's something to do during everything that's going on right now if you're looking for something new to be interested in. Maybe I've got it for you here today. So, for Charlotte, her name more commonly is actually Lottie. That is what Tiana tends to call her. So we have Lottie LaBeouf, and her aspiration is that she would like a soulmate. Obviously, that is very apparent in the movie that she is interested in not only finding a soulmate, but she really wants to be a princess. So I feel like either finding her a prince character that she could really love for the rest of her life, or just in general, having her fall in love is super appropriate for her character. Her traits are that she is romantic, materialistic, and childish. She does not currently have a spouse, but obviously that could change. Her status is that she is single and taking this time to focus on her acting career. So it was really difficult to pick what kind of a career to give Lottie, or even to give her one. And she could have easily just lived off of her father's money for the rest of her life and probably been perfectly okay. But I feel like she fits really, really well into actually a few careers, but there's one in particular that myself and my patrons have decided is probably the most appropriate. So, Lottie is a fun, confident sim. She knows exactly what she wants. Princess Tiana is her best friend, and they really bond on being go-getters. In Lottie's case, she wants a soulmate, but more recently, Charlotte also aspires to be a famous actress. She has a bit of a head start due to her father's fame and connections, but most people don't take her seriously because of those connections. Charlotte is determined to prove everyone wrong, become an actress, and find her soulmate along the way. She's often perceived by others as snooty and a little erratic, but if you get to know Charlotte, she is a loyal and loving friend, super supportive, and really, really smart too. She's not a part of any clubs, and yeah, she's an aspiring actress. So this is a sim that if you're interested in the acting career from Get Famous, you can start out with her and work through the acting career and get to know all the ins and outs of the tier list. She's actually a one-star celebrity already just because she had a little bit of fame from her father's fame. He is a very famous person in New Orleans and relatively so in the Disney save as well. So she does have fame that automatically comes along with that, and that's going to open the door for her for a lot of different things right off the bat, but it's also going to close some doors because people are going to think that it's something she doesn't truly want, or that she's just using her dad's fame and money to get her places. So it will be an interesting character dynamic as far as however you want to take that as a player in particular. Outside of that, her hobbies. So Charlotte loves fashion, and she is always in on the latest trends. She owns every single pink dress she can get her hands on, and you will never catch her with a hair out of place, especially in public. She also enjoys practicing for auditions, singing, very preliminary. We are just going to be starting out with the singing, and of course, shopping. So her hidden trait is that in proper company, and this is obviously depicted in the movie as well, so not too big of a surprise here, but Charlotte can be as much of a mess as anybody else, especially in front of Tiana, her best friend, where she really feels comfortable to be totally and truly herself. But when she's in public, she would never, ever be caught without a perfectly planned outfit, salon fresh hair, perfect nails, and all. She truly wants to find a soulmate and somebody that will accept both sides of her personality. So that kind of a little bit childish, maybe slightly spoiled personality that she can sometimes have behind the scenes, but also the very loving side of her, the very like outgoing, bubbly, happy side of her as well. So Lottie has a little bit of an issue where she sometimes dates a lot of guys that have a superficial exterior, and men tend to only look at her as a trophy wife that are not interested in much else as far as like the depth of her. Deep down, she really envies her best friend Tiana, because Tiana has literally everything she wants. She's a princess, she's got a loving husband, she's got a beautiful business, a beautiful home, but instead of taking that, and I feel like it would be so easy for Lottie to use that to become a little bit envious and greedy and not be super grateful for her friend and just totally take it in more of an evil direction, she's able to use a lot of that envy to motivate her, especially in her acting career and making her work towards her own goals. So she wants a lot of those things that Tiana has, but she's willing to get them the good old-fashioned way, just via hard work. And she is a one-star celebrity, so that is pretty much going to round out Charlotte here. She's very pretty. I did try to go for like a little bit of old Hollywood glam, but we've also got like that Marilyn Monroe look. We've got a little bit of like the vintage glamour 20s style look. Short hair, and one of the things that is a little bit difficult with doing, I would say, all of the Disney Save characters, not using custom content means that I have to pick and choose what we're going to get for accessories. So a lot of those like feather boas and jackets and cool hats with feathers off of them, especially from the 20s where you've got like a lot of really cool fashion. You're not going to get it in the Disney Save for the non-CC version. There's just not enough content currently available in the game. Hopefully maybe at some point we could get some kind of like a historical pack that would add a lot of really cool vintage clothing and maybe some more hats and things like that, but even down to headbands and just hair pieces that I would have loved to have been able to add for Lottie that she really shows off in like her fashion sense in the movie was not going to be there, but hopefully found a happy medium as far as all of her characters, all of her hairs go, all of her outfits, all of that. I did include two versions of her formal outfit for two different hairs that I just couldn't decide on. There was two that I was really, really liking. Both had volume to them, but they were all a little bit off from the movie, so I included two versions of that outfit. And then she's got a lot of really fun, cute pink outfits for the rest of her looks. So moving on to her dad, this is Big Daddy LaBeouf, and his name is actually Eli. So according to Disney Wiki, his name is Eli. However, I couldn't find any reference for this, and I don't remember him getting called that in the movie. It's very possible that I just happened to have missed it. So we have Eli LaBeouf here, and his aspiration is that he wants to be fabulously wealthy, which at this point in the Disney Save, he has already most definitely accomplished, which is cool. You could pick a new aspiration for him or just live in his lavishness and his wealth, because as we know, a lot of the Disney characters are not going to have that afforded to them. So it's a little bit of a different dynamic. His traits are cheerful, goofball, and foodie. He does not have a spouse. His status is that he is preparing to be crowned King of the Mardi Gras Parade for the 6th year in a row. His personality. Eli LaBeouf is known more famously as Big Daddy LaBeouf. He is the wealthiest and most famous man in New Orleans, and as a result, he is both a local celebrity and a man with a lot of power. Big Daddy has every asset to own and control New Orleans, but he's generally a good-natured, kind man with only the best interests of the city that he loves in mind. Big Daddy's money comes from good real estate and investing. He loves to buy new hot businesses, invest in great ideas, and own the most prized lots in New Orleans. If there is an apartment complex, duplex, or waterfront property in New Orleans, Big Daddy probably owns it. So his major job is that he is a real estate and business investor. He does a lot of business meetings. He has people over to his homes for idea pitches, and he owns a large portion of Willow Creek. He actually owns the neighborhood of shotgun houses that Tiana's parents live in. He is invested in Belle's bookstore, the one that I have called Chapter 3 over on the waterfront strip, and he owns parks. He's got investments pretty much everywhere. So his money is ever flowing, couple of apartment complexes as well. I actually have one next to Duke's, which is a cafe in the northern area of Willow Creek, and it is currently unoccupied, but I'm hoping later with an update we will be able to fill that. He owns that as well. So I feel like that was a really cool way to do it and kind of explain maybe some of the money that he has in the movie. His hobbies outside of that, Big Daddy loves to frequent the restaurant scene. A big surprise there. Always trying new foods and places in town, as well as eating out for 99.9% of his meals. He loves to participate in public events, parades, charities, town gatherings, and more. So he really thrives on being like a public figure. You're going to catch him at every town hall meeting, every big parade, every event. He is totally in on that. He loves being a celebrity. He loves everything that comes along with that. He does have paparazzi. He loves it to death. It's just like, it's his happy place. It's where he thrives. His hidden trait is that he sometimes likes to gamble, but more in the real estate market. Big Daddy doesn't mind taking what others might perceive as a huge risk on businesses and ideas that he sees a lot of potential in. A few times he's picked wrong, but it's never really affected his wealth for long. Once, Big Daddy invested in a business that looked all peaches and roses on the outside, but later turned out to be a really bad deal. He was able to pull out of the deal, but the man who lost out on Big Daddy's investment never got over the failed deal. This man is still around New Orleans, and the locals call him the Magic Man. He has a personal vendetta against Big Daddy, and Eli is also a 3-star celebrity. So that is going to round out our 2 characters for today. I hope that you enjoyed them. I am going to recommend that if you put them in your save, you also hire them a maid or 2. It feels super appropriate for their household. Let me know what you thought about these 2 characters. Check out their speed build for their home, as well as all the other videos in the Disney Save, linked at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Hit that little bell icon below to turn on post notifications so you can get updated every single time I post, and I will talk to you all in the next one.